So I'm now at my first day of clinical at VCU Health Systems. Um, I was assigned to a standby room last night, so I didn't have any patients in my room, in my OR room last night that I could look up and prepare for or anything like that. And when I got here this morning, there still weren't any cases scheduled. When I got here this morning, we had an add-on case added to the schedule at about 6:30 this morning. So I'm guessing it was an urgent case or emergent or something like that. So I didn't have as much time to prepare for the case as I usually do because we have our assignments the night before. And this case was actually a VATS case, which I have not even haven't done yet. Barely have. Well, yeah, just haven't done that yet. And it's a very complicated case, especially for a junior that's only in her sixth week of clinical. So needless to say, I was excited to see that I was getting this case. With this case, it's actually a thoracic thoracic procedure where the surgeon goes through the thoracic cage to operate on the lung, to maybe resect it. This particular case, they were resecting a part of the lung. So when you do that, you need a special endotracheal tube. It's a double lumen tube. It's a bigger tube than the standard tube, and there's a different kind of way that you're supposed to intubate with it. I've only been intubating with standard tubes so far. I did do one NIMS tube, but this one I was excited to attempt to do because this was different. So you intubate with a different tube, the double lumen tube, and you have to do fiber optic when you intubate with this tube. That would be something that I hadn't done either. I hadn't done yet. So I was excited about that. So when you do that procedure, you have to deflate one of the lungs. One of the lungs will be down while you only ventilate the other lung. So the down lung would be the lung that they operate on. So you insert the tube, you clamp one side of the tube, and that would be the side that's going to the down lung, and you leave the other lung open and ventilate that lung. So yeah, so pretty interesting. So what happened with that case was the patient ended up being an unexpected difficult airway. So when I tried to intubate them, I had trouble because his anatomy and all this other stuff that factored into things. He ended up being a difficult airway. So I tried, and the anesthesiologist, they tried, they couldn't get it. They had to call another anesthesiologist in to help them. But eventually we got it in with like a lot of teamwork. It's like 4 of us doing different things to try to get this tube in. And thankfully, we did get it in. I was just upset that I couldn't get it in myself. Like, I wanted to keep trying, but of course I could have. He was well oxygenated. His stats were great. He was still doing great throughout the whole entire thing, but it doesn't always work out that way. Anesthesiologists took it from there and they got it in. But I'm glad that we had good teamwork and stuff, and we could get him through that. He did great during the maintenance phase. We got him through the case smoothly. That case lasted for about a couple of hours, and then we had another add-on case after that, and that was just a simple laparoscopic jejudostomy tube placement. That's just a feeding tube placement, and they also placed a port so he can get his chemotherapy and stuff for his cancer. That was smooth. I had no problem with that, with intubation with that. That whole case actually went smoothly also. It was, maintenance phase was great. We just finished with that one And I think that actually took a couple of hours also. And we took him to the PACU and everything was fine. So now I get to go home early because my preceptor is sending me home early so I can study for this pathophysiology test that's coming up. We don't have any more procedures posted, so you know, I will take any opportunity that I can get to go study for these tests that I have come up every week. So I'm going to go home early. I'm going to reflect on everything that I did today and write my care plans. I got to have those in by Sunday, and and just prepare for the next week. All right, bye.